Millions of people are shifting into India's industrial and logistics sectors, moving from the informal economy into organized gig work. Projections indicate that by 2030, India will have 23.5 million gig workers. This demand is being fueled by 6.45 crore MSMEs registered on the UDM portal, businesses that are actively seeking to formalize their labor operations. Yet, while the scale of the workforce is formalizing, the management of that labor remains chaotic. On the ground, most operations are still unverified and analog. The ecosystem relies on informal brokers and fragmented hiring practices. Lacking digital identities, these workers remain invisible to the formal economy. Manual tracking leads directly to attendance disputes and payroll errors, introducing significant financial and regulatory risk for the employer. The staffing industry often treats this as a discovery problem, as if simply finding the worker is the end of the challenge. In reality, temporary staffing in India is an execution problem. Sourcing a massive workforce becomes a liability if an employer lacks the infrastructure to accurately track their hours, verify their skills, and process their payments. Digital job boards typically stop at the point of discovery. They match a worker to a role, collect a placement fee, and the transaction ends. This model forces the employer to take the actual management of the worker offline, which leads to high platform churn and a loss of data. KAARYA functions as a system of record and execution, managing the relationship long after the initial match is made. While the job board timeline terminates at the hire, the KAARYA architecture extends through daily attendance, into payroll calculation, and finishes with automated invoicing. By integrating into these post-hire operations, the platform captures value that a discovery-only model misses entirely. This operational depth addresses a 1.296 lakh crore rupee total addressable market in monetizable transaction fees within India. Platform defensibility is built on the monthly wage flow. Managing that recurring capital creates a deeper relationship with the employer than facilitating an initial handshake. The first barrier to digitization is onboarding. For an informal workforce, traditional text-based resumes and PDF uploads are points friction. Language diversity and varying levels of digital literacy are the primary bottlenecks to formalizing the blue-collar sector. KAARYA uses a voice-to-CV AI architecture to bypass these traditional text interfaces. Workers speak into the platform in their native Indian languages, providing unstructured data that the system can interpret and organize. The AI extracts key identity markers, skills, and locations from that audio, translating human speech into structured profile intelligence. Voice AI serves as the bridge between an informal worker's habits and an enterprise's need for standardized data, allowing for digitization at a national scale. Once the worker is deployed to a site, the platform begins its role in the daily operational cycle. The software automates the digital KYC and contracting process, then moves directly into daily attendance tracking. This creates a direct digital engagement loop. Workers record attendance via mobile, while employers review and approve timesheets in real time. At the end of each pay period, the system calculates payable time, triggers net payments, and simultaneously generates a platform invoice. By acting as the payroll calculation engine, the platform becomes the system of record. Moving to a different platform would require the employer to manually reconstruct their entire payroll workflow. This continuous cycle is supported by a specialized technological stack. The foundation contains input and structuring layers. Voice intake captures speech, profile intelligence organizes it. Above sits the decisioning layer, a matching engine ranking candidates by shift, wage, and history. The execution layer automates daily cycles. Finally, the learning layer provides enterprise analytics. Every deployment cycle enriches this stack, creating a proprietary data graph of verified worker performance and reliability. This architecture translates the unpredictability of human labor into a standardized data stream for the enterprise. The technical architecture enables a financial model based on the actual movement of money. The core monetization is transaction-led, anchored directly to the flow of wages. For an average worker earning a 15,000 rupee monthly wage, the platform applies a 10% service fee. This generates 1,500 rupees in recurring revenue for every active worker deployed through the system. This fee repeats every single month the worker remains active on the employer's roster, providing a continuous revenue stream from a single placement. The strategy is to win a factory pilot, prove the ROI through clean billing, and then scale the software across the entire enterprise. Aligning the platform's revenue with the employer's operational cycle creates highly predictable, recurring income. These unit economics compound rapidly as the platform scales its active worker base. This trajectory shows the projected revenue growth over the first 3 years. Year 1 is the pilot phase, with revenue at 3.96 crore rupees. Margins are negative due to initial build-out. Year 2 marks the scaling inflection. With 7,500 active workers, revenue reaches 14.85 crore, and the platform turns EBITDA positive. By year 3, the platform scales to 18,000 workers, projecting 35.64 crore in revenue at a 54% contribution margin. This margin expansion is possible because once the software is deployed, the marginal cost of managing additional payroll data is nearly zero. By solving the unglamorous friction of daily attendance and payroll, KAARYA converts the chaos of the informal economy into a profitable software ecosystem.